Welcome students to the part 2 of pharmacotherapy of type 2 diabetes mellitus. We will be studying the pharmacology of pioglitazone, bromocriptine and the sodium glucose cotransport 2 inhibitors in this PowerPoint presentation. First, let us learn the pharmacology of pioglitazone, which belongs to the class of thiazolidine diones. Thiazolidine diones, along with metformin, belong to the class of antidiabetics, which help in overcoming insulin resistance. These are the drugs which are used in the treatment of type 2 diabetes mellitus. Pioglitazone tablets. Let us study the pharmacology of pioglitazone. Rosiglitazone is the other thiazolidine dione which is no longer used because of increased cardiovascular complications like myocardial infarction, strokes, heart failure and sudden death. So pioglitazone is the only thiazolidine dione which is used. Thiazolidine diones are nuclear PPAR gamma agonists. PPAR gamma means peroxisome proliferator activated receptor. This results in increased transcription of several insulin responsive genes. This results in increased expression and translocation of glucose transporter 4 glycoproteins, and hence there is increased uptake of glucose by the various tissues, and this is responsible for the reversal of insulin resistance or even an insulin sensitizing action of pioglitazone. Hence this drug has come to be known as an insulin sensitizer. Hepatic gluconeogenesis is also suppressed by pioglitazone, and this is similar to the primary action of metformin. Pioglitazone has a major action on the fatty tissue, resulting in improving insulin sensitivity. Pioglitazone regulates the genes which control fatty acid metabolism and lipogenesis, the result of which is there is an inhibition of lipolysis and fatty acid synthesis. Adipocyte turnover and differentiation are also affected, resulting in reversal of insulin resistance and enhancement of insulin sensitivity. So this is the action of pioglitazone. Pioglitazone also happens to reduce serum triglyceride levels and increases HDL levels because it also has an agonistic action on the PPAR alpha receptors. Hence, pioglitazone helps in reducing plasma glucose levels and also has an ability to overcome insulin resistance. It sensitizes the tissues to the action of insulin, and hence it is also known as an insulin sensitizer. Adipose tissue is a major site of action for thiazolidine diones. So pioglitazone activates PPAR gamma receptors, giving rise to transcription of insulin responsive genes and also regulation of the genes responsible for fatty acid metabolism and lipogenesis, giving rise to reduction in lipolysis, reduction in the free fatty acid levels. This gives rise to improved insulin sensitivity. What are the adverse effects of pioglitazone? It can cause an expansion in the plasma volume, giving rise to edema. This can increase the risk of heart failure. Already existing heart failure can be precipitated. The severity of already existing heart failure is enhanced. Pioglitazone also causes weight gain. This is in contrast to metformin, which causes a weight loss. Sulfonylureas also have been associated with weight gain. Headache, myalgia and mild anemia are also associated with the use of pioglitazone. When you put your patient on pioglitazone, frequent assessment of liver functions is mandatory because a few cases of hepatic dysfunction have been reported in patients on pioglitazone. That is why we contraindicate the use of pioglitazone in patients with liver disease and heart failure. And also because pioglitazone induces CYP3A4 cytochrome P450 enzymes, it can lead to the failure of oral contraceptives. This is an example for pharmacokinetic drug interaction at the level of drug metabolism. What is the status of pioglitazone in the pharmacotherapy of type 2 diabetes mellitus? So we already know that metformin is the first line drug for the treatment of type 2 diabetes mellitus. Now, pioglitazone also overcomes insulin resistance like metformin, but it is not preferred as a first line drug because it can precipitate heart failure, and also it becomes mandatory to assess liver functions. Liver function tests have to be conducted regularly if you put your patient on pioglitazone. That is why metformin is preferred ahead of pioglitazone. Another adverse effect of pioglitazone is it can cause fractures in elderly females. Now the efficacy of pioglitazone is lesser than that of metformin. Pioglitazone reduces glycosylated hemoglobin levels by 0.5 to 1.2%. This is in contrast to metformin, which reduces glycosylated hemoglobin levels by 0.8 to 1.2%. 25% patients may not respond to pioglitazone because of low baseline insulin levels. And one more thing is, metformin can be used with insulin, but pioglitazone cannot be used with insulin because there is precipitation of heart failure. So these are the reasons why metformin is preferred ahead of pioglitazone in the treatment of type 2 diabetes mellitus. Although we can always use pioglitazone as a third line drug. So in patients who are already on metformin and sulfonylureas, I can add pioglitazone as the third drug in the oral anti-diabetic regimen to improve the outcome. Pioglitazone, like metformin, is not associated with hypoglycemia. Now beta cells are protected with pioglitazone and there is no acceleration of beta cell failure. This is almost the same like metformin. And like metformin, pioglitazone reduces macrovascular complications of diabetes like myocardial infarction and stroke because pioglitazone also helps in overcoming insulin resistance. And similar to metformin, pioglitazone has also been associated with preventing the onset of type 2 diabetes mellitus in pre-diabetic patients. This is evidenced in the Diabetic Prevention Program of 2005. And pioglitazone is contraindicated in pregnancy. Let us now learn the pharmacology of bromocriptine. Bromocriptine is an oral anti-diabetic drug which is indicated in type 2 diabetes mellitus patients. If you look into the classification of the drugs used in type 2 diabetes, bromocriptine comes under miscellaneous oral antidiabetics. Bromocriptine tablets, immediate release tablets, are used in type 2 diabetes mellitus. Bromocriptine is a D2 receptor agonist which was used in the treatment of Parkinson's disease. It was found to have an anti-diabetic effect also. How does it produce its anti-diabetic effect? Bromocriptine acts on the hypothalamo-dopaminergic circadian rhythm, altering the secretion of hormones like growth hormone, ACTH, prolactin, etc. And in the process, it helps in reducing insulin resistance. That is how bromocriptine has an anti-diabetic effect. The efficacy of bromocriptine is mild. It is much lesser compared to the drugs like metformin, sulfonylureas, and even pioglitazone. It reduces glycosylated hemoglobin levels by 0.5%, and hence bromocriptine is not a first line drug in the treatment of type 2 diabetes. It is only used as a supplement to already existing hypoglycemic regimens to improve the outcome of the treatment. Dear students, let us learn the pharmacology of sodium glucose cotransport 2 inhibitors. Dapagliflozin, canagliflozin, empagliflozin are the SGL2 inhibitors which are indicated only in the treatment of type 2 diabetes mellitus, and in the classification of the drugs used in type 2 diabetics, you find these drugs being mentioned as miscellaneous drugs along with bromocriptine. Dapagliflozin and empagliflozin tablets. Dapagliflozin, empagliflozin, SGL2 inhibitors, they produce round the clock glycosuria by inhibiting these glycoproteins which are sodium glucose cotransport 2. SGL2 is responsible for reabsorption of all the filtered glucose in the renal tubules. So if this transporter is inhibited, there is going to be glycosuria, and these compounds also have been associated with weight loss. Now the efficacy of these compounds is much lesser than metformin and sulfonylureas and even pioglitazone. They reduce glycosylated hemoglobin levels by 0.5 to 1%. Hence, they are used mainly as adjuvants to hypoglycemic regimens to improve the outcome. Because of the pharmacological action of producing glycosuria, the adverse effects of these compounds are urinary tract, genital infections, and they also increase the frequency of urination. They can also produce electrolyte imbalance and even ketoacidosis as adverse effects. So in this presentation, we have learnt the pharmacology of pioglitazone, which is a thiazolidinedione. We have learnt the role of bromocriptine in the treatment of type 2 diabetes, and also the status of SGL2 inhibitors in the treatment of type 2 diabetes. Thank you.